I, where do I begin this video? Um, for a very long time, I had decided that I want to read The Stand by Stephen King. It was my most anticipated read. Mm, it was actually one of my most anticipated read. The most anticipated read in my entire life was Gone with the Wind, which I finished and loved. And the only thing remaining to do was to read The Stand. I have been recommended this for literally 15 years now. Like I first heard about it 15 years back when I did not even bother reading. So I've been at this for quite a while now, and I don't know what made me delay it so long. I read a bunch of Stephen King novels, and he became my favorite author, so to speak. And I thought The Stand would be one of those reads, which really strike home. Anyway, I just finished reading it yesterday. It took me almost a month to read this book because it's so long and so boring. I really died while reading this book. The premise or the plot, well, a super flu has struck the world and it has wiped out 97% of the population. And like few people remain, and the ones who remain are wondering what to do now, and they all start dreaming the same damn dream, in which there's an old lady who sings to them and asks them to come to a certain town, I think Nebraska. And in the same dream, they also have nightmares, and there's this guy they see, and the guy basically wants them dead, and the guy has an evil red eye, and he's a tall, dark man, with cowboy boots, who just has a smirk on his face and is very scary. So everybody has this dream. All the survivors who are immune to the super flu have this particular dream, and it basically shows you life through maybe 5 or 6 characters in the beginning, and the chapters are really long and really stretched out, and it's just a very long, boring book to read. My major gripe with the book was the fact that it had absolutely no um, it built towards something which it actually never really showed. So you may think that something is coming during the entire stretch of the book, but during the entire length of The Stand, nothing actually happens in the end. The climax is very, very weird and a major cop out, if you ask me. I Yes, the writing was okay, the characters were okay. There's no character you're really cheering for. By the end of it, I started cheering or rooting for the villains because I really wanted the good ones to die because they were so stupid, the characters, and he really irritated me by this. It is by far one of the worst books I've read in recent times, and I could also say this is the worst book I've actually read. It is terrible. It's right down with the books like Shadow of the Wind and by Carlos Ruiz, some guy, and The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. That's like the worst book I've read. This is probably worse than that. I mean, it may actually put me off reading for a while. I can't believe it took me this long to read this stupid book, and I don't recommend it to anybody. Yes, granted, it was made in the mid 70s and it was made for the audience where there was no TV shows and films and whatnot. But I really think this was such a colossal waste of time. Why did I not stop reading the book? I'm not a quitter, man. If I have something in my head, in my sight, and I'll just fucking do it. Instead of moan and whine about it. I mean, I'd finish the goddamn thing and then moan and whine about it, right? Um, to all you people who haven't read the book and are wondering if you should read The Stand, I mean, read it if you're as curious as me. I use this term a lot. I like to tell people that if you're as curious as I am, you should probably read this book. Guys, this was the 11th book I read this year. And man, oh man, if every book turns out to be like this, I'm gonna have a bad time. A really, really bad time. I'm sorry I'm all unshaved and unlathered, but you're not really here to kiss my face now, are you? So, yeah, don't read this book. And guess what, Stephen King, you're no longer my favorite author. I know you don't care, you have a lineage and all that, but you really lost your plot here. I mean, I thought The Shining was average. This was even worse. I thought Caddy was average. Caddy was his first book, so I was like, okay, I pardon the guy for this sin. You know, Caddy's a two-star book. I'm sure you've seen the film. He's done some amazing books like Misery and Green Mile, and Shawshank Redemption was okay, I thought. But this, my friends, it really was a letdown. I mean, there's just absolutely nothing to look forward or appreciate about this book. I don't know. I hated all the characters. I really liked a few of the villainous characters, but they were so weird, dude. I also read a book by his son, Joe Hill, but I'll talk about that in another video. What am I going to read now, dear friends? I'm going to read a book called Girl on the Train. I'm sure you've heard about it, or you will hear about it soon. It's a bestseller. Um, I just wanted to get this off my chest, really, so that once it's out, that it's done and dusted. I mean, I can make a bunch of videos and reviews and book reviews and all that, but this is just me talking to you and telling you that this was a really crappy book. Um, Stephen King, The Stand, I give it 1 star out of 5. And I don't know when I will read my next Stephen King book. It sure as hell will not be a book which he wrote in the 70s or the 80s, god damn it. I have a bunch of John Grisham books to read, and I think I'm going to give him a shot at some time this year. I've also decided to finish another book called The Memory Man by David Baldacci or something of that sort. Okay, now. Alright, this was a review for Stephen King's The Stand, his most famous book. Bullshit.